'Twas the night before Christmas, and up in his sleigh, old Santa was cruising just over L.A. But that's near the point where this fairy tale peaks, so let's back it up by a couple of weeks. Our story begins up at the North Pole, where a young elf named Elvin was in search of his soul. His mom and pops were employed in the cause of supplying the labor for one Mr. Claus. And Elvin, who just turned 18 on the 12th, had started to work for SC his own self. But when you're a sharp and ambitious young man, chances are you might deviate some from the plan.
I don't like working for Santa. It's as simple as that. All us elves come up short while the fat man gets fat.
It's not about money. The reward's in the deed. Me and Mom are fulfilled by just filling a need.
Please, all the really cool toys are high-tech Japanese. Some lame wooden train that can't play your CDs or your games DVDs. I reiterate, please, the vibe here is old, is played out, and tired.
And so, on his third day, Elvin got himself fired. His task was assembling a simple toy drum. That kind, by design, goes pa-ra-pa-pum-pum. But Elvin inserted a synthesized chip, which sampled a track going boom, boom, shaka, boom, shaka, boom, shaka, bip. Hey, I thought it was live, but he got the pink slip.
3 days in a row, you have ruined my toys by amping them up with your mechanized noise. Before this loud drum, it was a musical ball that rattled the windows and shattered them all. Your modern ideas, they don't bring me enjoyment. So perhaps you should find a new place of employment.
That's all right by me. I don't need this lame gig. I go out on my own, perpetrate something big. I'm young and I'm strong. I got flow and I'm dapper. That's why I've decided to become a rapper. With my talent and smarts, I control the top 40. Just keep your eyes on the charts for the one called Slim Shorty.
So he set out on the next afternoon, and according to him, not a moment too soon. He touched down on the outskirts of Portland, OR. And as soon as he did, a truck tore up his car.
What am I gonna do?
Elvin said to himself.
Got no car, got no cash. Man, I'm one messed up elf.
He sat down dejected, alone as can be. When up to the curb pulled a black SUV. The window rolled down when Fly Dog was inside. He nodded and said,
"What's up, fool? Need a ride?"
Elvin considered the possible dangers of hopping in cars with slick canine strangers, but common sense says that it's better to cruise than hang around Portland in jingly shoes.
So what's your name, dawg? Slim Shorty's mine. At least it will be when I hit the big time.
My friends call me Puppy. That's short for Pup Daddy.
Then a voice from behind said,
"Don't forget me, wee laddie. I'm Seamus Doremus O'Leary McShawn. Puppy just saved me from some yuppie's lawn. We're on an adventure, so glad you could join. We're heading to Cali to make us some coin."
Going to Cali? I'm down with that. That's where I was going to make it in rap.
I see you a player, a big-time bling-blinger. I'm in music myself, and my girlfriend's a singer. It was destined to be that you'd fall in with Pup. You can leave it to me. I'll for sure hook you up.
So on their way, our trio did roll on the highway to fame, while back at the pole, a highly contagious, mysterious virus had grown like the mullet on Billy Ray Cyrus. It spread through the ranks from the L's to the chief, left them sneezing and wheezing with no sign of relief.
Our production has stopped. The whole complex is sick. At this rate, Christmas might be called off,
said Saint Nick. Cancel Christmas? That's no good. But meanwhile, out in Hollywood, the boys rode into town, went straight to say hello to Pup Daddy Squeeze, a hot diva named Jel-O. But when they arrived at the Copacabana, they found Jel-O'd been iced by a new gal named Poink.
I'm finished here, puppy. Stick me with a fork. They traded me in for some giant piece of pork.
Nah, it's all about respect. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all just follow my lead and we'll turn this club out.
Puppy took to the mic like a bug in a rug and said,
Yo, I'm all up in this mug. Gonna thrill you and sugar, this mic's my device.
And I'll send you like a nick to a hot Latin spice.
Hey, don't blame us, the shame it spins out of control. That just means it's part of this got on the roll. Now before this here floor was dominated by a pup with a real Slim Shorty, please tear this place up.
Elvin knew this was his moment of truth. Started slamming like Shaq, slinging arrows like Cupid. When that boy started rapping, the whole place got stupid.
I'm a man from the land of ice and snow. I'm a
acquainted with a cat who says ho, ho, ho. Layer after layer, I'm a Yuletide player. A jingle all the way, a one-horse open slayer. I can come down your chimney with the greatest of ease. I'll leave a present if you're pleasant. Tell me, please, baby, please. So you better watch out. You better not cry. Trade your pouting for some shouting while I testify. See, I'm mighty as a man stated twice my size. When Slim Shorty's in the house, you better recognize.
His rapid was nearly a riot inducer, which is great if you're playing before a producer.
Allow me to make myself known to you all, Mephistopheles Beelzebarabicus Saul. Maker of idols, creator of stars, I own 17 mansions, 84 fancy cars. If you sign on this X, I'll guarantee you, from obscurity's clutches, Mr. Saul's gonna free ya. All top of the pop ya, feature film and TV ya. So pack up your troubles and tell them all, see ya!
Our group took a sec to consider the deal, and Elvin asked Pup.
Man, is this cat for real?
Listen, son, 411. Let me lay down some facts. Mr. Saul only handles the freshest of acts. He's bigger and meaner than any T-Rex. His groups are chart toppers, and we could be next.
Well, let's do this thing. Let me sign on the line. I believe from today my life's gonna be fine.
Our group couldn't be any more optimistic, but soon their perspective got more realistic. To enjoy the rewards, you must first pay the bills. They found this out later in Beverly Hills. Deep down in the bowels of Mr. Saul's manse, his new acquisitions were learning to dance.
Let's move it, now groove it. Come on, work, work, work. I'll be doggone if you make me look like a jerk. We'll keep working until the act reaches perfection.
And pity the poor fool who can't take direction.
That last nasty comment made every head whirl, perhaps because it came from a very small girl.
My daddy's tops. He's the boss of you all,
said young Evelina Katrina Sue Saul.
He doesn't play games and he doesn't like chumps. So I recommend you start moving your rumps.
My. What a smart little girl. I'll bet you $10 your daddy's pearl. Bet you're excited with Christmas so close. Maybe you'll get the presents that you want the most. I've got some connections. So tell me one thing. What is it that you want old Santa to bring?
Evelina laughed hard. She started to rock.
Santa Claus, dude, you know that's a crock. I got no time for Christmas. Daddy buys what I like. If you get a hit, I'll get 40 new bikes. I'll ride them all once, then I'll throw them away. And that happens all year, not just on Christmas Day. So when Daddy says dance, I suggest that you jump, because I won't get my bikes until you move your rump.
Those rumps started moving, suffice it to say. They moved all that night, and then all the next day. It was take after take till they made no mistakes. They skipped all their meals and they never took breaks. Somewhere in between, they recorded 10 songs. All this in 3 days. Man, what took them so long?
Peace. I'm about to drop. When you think this will stop? I'm so tired my legs feel like nothing but props.
Hey, I'd love to jam and go on the lamb.
But those pit bulls would eat us like ham if we scram.
You got problems with Saul? Sorry, that's between y'all. I want my big break. I'm in for the haul. Though I'm toe up from the flow up, battered and scarred. I won't quit it till I hit it. I don't mind working hard.
You better not mind. We've got ironclad papers. Our deal wasn't written on mirrors with vapors. You'll do as I please without any fights, or I'll squeeze you like Oprah in bicycle tights.
Ah, but all of Saul's news was not fraught with despair, for he then dropped this bombshell from out of thin air.
I'm hoping your tensions will be much decreased by the news that your first record's just been released. I pressed it and dressed it and shipped it out quick. The grooves are insane. The packaging's slick. So I've been busy too. There's been big business brewing. Now who wants to know how our record is doing?
Don't hold back, Mr. S, if you got news to tell. What's the dealio, man? Are we starting to sell?
You're hotter than pepper. You're sharper than darts. In one day, your disc hit the top of the charts.
Proving his status as ace-wheeler dealer, in rode Evelina on a brand new two-wheeler. She rode it round once and she chucked it away. Our group got the message and shouted,
Hooray!
We'll shoot your first video after you dine. It'll be on the air by 8:45. We'll take a short break just to watch it, and then we'll be on the road by 9:45. If you think you're big now, you'll be monsters for sure at the end of your big 99-city tour.
So the group took a rocket ride nearly to heaven and did it darn near by 11:45. The one called Slim Shorty was gladder than glad. But at the North Pole, things were badder than bad. Since the virus had spread, nothing been manufactured. Santa's whole enterprise had been fatally fractured. The fat lady sang when the fat man in red gave a global press conference straight from his sick bed.
My intent's not to ruin or get you all miffed, but nothing's a brewing come this 25th. My boots won't be covered with ashes and soot. This year's Yuletide season is finished. Kaput!
Punctuating this statement with one nasty cough, he continued with,
Christmas is hereby called off.
Inside a tour bus Los Angeles way, everyone heard the sad news of the day. The mood of the group was a mixed one indeed as they watched Santa's broadcast by satellite feed. Mr. Saul topped the tank off at Phil's Gas and Go, while the rest recalled Christmases long, long ago.
I remember the truck I got when I was 6.
At 11, I got me first wee walking stick.
At 8, Santa brought me a wonderful doll. She ate, cried, and wept. Man, that chick did it all.
Although quite concerned for his dad and his mom, Elvin's response was surprisingly calm. He sat very quiet and thought to himself,
I knew there was no future being an elf. I got out in time, Santa's over, no doubt. While me, on the other hand, I'm busting out.
Yes, here was one lad who was quite satisfied, smiling wider than wide, while the world wept inside. Then a little voice stung like a bee on his neck and wrote him a big fat reality check.
I don't know why everyone's making a fuss, raising a racket, disturbing the bus. I told you all once, Christmas doesn't mean jack. Who needs some fat guy with a sack on his back, breaking and entering, eating up snacks? Keep your partridge, your pear tree, your silent nights, and throw them away. Like I say, Christmas bites.
Evelina's harsh words rattled round Elvin's brain. They conjured up one thought.
Is this girl insane? Me and Santa butt heads, that's a natural fact. But in this whole world, there's no classier act. I've never known anyone quite so unselfish. Could it be I've been acting a little unelfish?
Your negative attitude truly is sad. Lassie, is this the way you were raised by your dad?
I'm the only elf left well enough to make gifts and uphold the tradition of past 25ths. I must travel the road that my forefathers paved. We must postpone the tour. Christmas has to be saved.
Postpone the tour? Oh no, we will not. You're all under contract, in case you forgot. This tour will not end until I turn a profit. You'll stay on this bus, and you will not get off it.
How Elvin hated that terse ultimatum, but he knew old Saul well enough not to debate him. Instead, the boy chose to do something quite rash. He opened the window, leaped out, and then dashed. Now for all those of you who are not in the know, an elf's hard to catch comes from training in snow. He ducked through a shop where they rented tuxedos and straight through the kitchen of Tito's Burritos. He zigged and he zagged and he scooted to boot, but somehow that tour bus stayed hot in pursuit. It kept up the pace, hanging lefts, snaking rights. It ran through each stop sign, it blew every light. It scoffed every law like the worst of unlawfuls, and skipped on the bill at Joe's Meatloaf and Waffles. It followed that elf, cause that's what Saul demanded. When his path dead-ended, they caught him red-handed.
Our shows will resume promptly this 26th, when Christmas is past and your attitude's fixed. Until then, you will stay under strict lock and key. I bet this will teach you about messing with me.
I'm to blame for all this. I know it's my bad, but I owe a debt to my mama and dad. Their whole way of life may be soon wiped away, and I screwed up my one chance at saving the day. Believe me, I'm sorry, you got punished too. But an elf had to do what an elf had to do.
It ain't no big thing. You know we got your back. I say we consider a plan of attack. We'll bust out of here, then we'll lend you a hand, so you can work your magic in Santa Claus land.
Hold on there, me bucks. I can help ye with that. I've got a surprise for ye under me hat. We're not known as scholars or athletic jocks, but us lawn gnomes are excellent pickers of locks.
You can open this cell?
Aye, lad, you dang skippy. They won't know we're gone till we hit Mississippi.
That's all well and good, but remember the dogs. They'll chew us up smaller than fireplace logs.
Want to avoid getting chewed up like kibble? Those hounds won't mind us if there's something to nibble. I'll handle that task, for voila, take a glance at the meatloaf and waffles I stashed in my pants.
Another escape. Do you think I'm an oaf? What's that I smell? Is that waffles and loaf? You know, I just love me some waffles and loaf.
So he jumped in the cell. Who does that but an oaf? Elvin summoned a reindeer, and they went on their way with just 72 hours to save Christmas Day. Our 4 in a sleigh, and 1 stowaway. The plot thickened when high above El Cajon, Evelina decided to make herself known.
You got past my daddy, but not Evelina. When I'm on the case, there is nobody meaner. We are turning around, and I mean it, you heard? As of right now, this girl's taken over this bird.
They fought for the wheel. The sleigh climbed like a ladder and took a sharp nosedive at Elko, Nevada. The struggle was raucous, outrageous, and noisy until Evelina got pinned down in Boise.
Let's hit the shop. We got plenty to do.
Hey, how about me?
Simple, girlie. You gonna help too.
Me making toys? Why, you must be deranged.
But stepping inside, her whole attitude changed.
Oh, wow, this is cool. It's so cool, I believe if I came from this place, well, sir, I'd never leave.
Elvin was shamed when he thought of his blunder in leaving this land that was so full of wonder. But shame turned to pride, and it made him declare,
All right, man your station. Show Santa we care.
The assembly line really started to zip. Making Elvin's new drum, you know, boom shaka-bit. They made lots of those, and they went along fine with the items in Santa's traditional line. Then Evelina did something quite slick.
You know, everyone here doesn't have to be sick. My wonderful mother, rest her poor soul, was never afraid of a flu, cough, or cold. With a few common herbs, she could whip up a serum that could kill any bug and the bugs that got near them. It brings down a fever, controls the worst wheeze. I'm sure I can whip up a batch if you please.
It pleased, and she whipped up enough for the town. Everyone at the pole started wolfing it down. It tasted like paste. Worse, it smelled like manure. But that didn't matter. This stuff was a cure. The production was huge from each hardworking elf. And then who should walk in but the big man himself?
Well, ha ha ho! Santa likes what he sees. Now tell me, who was it that cured this disease?
Meet Evelina Katrina Susal. She mixed up the potion that fixed up you all.
Why, you sweet little thing, what a clever young lass. You know you should go to the head of the class. And Elvin, your top's on my honor roll too.
Shoot, ain't no big thing, but there's still lots to do. You just sit in your chair and let me do the rest. I'll make sure this Christmas is one of your best.
The last toy was made come Christmas Eve dawn. Santa just smiled and said,
Christmas is on. I'm coming as scheduled. There'll be no delay. It's business as usual. All hail Christmas Day!
Yay! Santa took off that night on his usual rounds, with his sleigh weighted down by a couple more pounds. They hit every house from Shiloh to Shanghai and ate themselves silly on cookies and pie. And who was the best Santa's helper of all? But of course, Evelina Katrina Susal.
This is the best time that I ever had. But if you don't mind, can we rescue my dad?
Which brings us right back without further delay to Santa Claus cruising just over L.A. They flew to the mansion, but when they got there, they found Mr. Saul a bit worse for the wear.
I'll get you all for the damage you did. Locking me up and abducting my kid. Taking my cell phone to run up my bill. Disrupting my tour.
Daddy, please, would you chill? These folks are my friends. They gave me a great gift. They taught me a heart's not so heavy to lift. I never believed such a thing could be true.
But it is, and now we've got something for you. Merry Christmas.
We hope you don't think this is dumb.
Well, lo and behold, it's a little toy drum. Mr. Saul looked it over, inspected it some, then he tapped on the top.
Pa-rum-pa-pum-pum.
You would think that a man, suave and sophisticated, would laugh at a toy that was so clearly dated, but not Mr. Saul, no. He smiled ear to ear, and I swear in his eye formed a wet little tear.
That sound fills me with joy. I had a drum like this when I was a boy. I got it for Christmas. I held it so dear. In fact, it inspired my music career.
So you see, even someone as mean as a mule, when presented with something extremely old school, can't help but succumb to the spirit of Yule. I find this last fact unequivocally cool. Oh, Elvin? He went back to living quite large, this time at the North Pole as head elf in charge.
Elvin, my boy, you've done everyone proud. I don't even care if your toys are too loud. You come a long way as your new status proved. Now do me a favor and show me some moves.
You got it, big man. Yo, let's hit it, y'all.
It's the night before Christmas, so get in the flow. Tell every boy, every girl, tell everybody you know. It's the fly time, the best time, your favorite time of the year, when families get together to share Christmas cheer.
While you're dreaming in the night of all things that are good, the red man is in his sleigh flying over your hood. Peasants from aunties, uncles, grandmamas, and pops sitting under the tree with your name stuck to the top. But the best gift of all is the one that you give. No other reason for the season, it's the way we should live. I said the best gift of all is the one that you give. No other reason, it's the way we should live. Yeah.
It's the night before Christmas, so get in the flow. Tell every boy, every girl, tell everybody you know. It's the fly time, the best time, your favorite time of the year, when families get together to share Christmas cheer.
Somebody say Christmas time.
Christmas time.
I say Christmas time.
Christmas time.
I say Christmas time.
Christmas time.
Say Christmas time.
Christmas time.
I say Christmas time is the best time, cause the best time is Christmas time.
Christmas time is the best time, cause the best time is Christmas time. It's the night before Christmas.
Now isn't that just an incredible sight? It looks as if everything turned out all right. So Merry Christmas, y'all, and to all, a good night.